Hello students, today we are going to start next chapter of mathematics, chapter 9th, linear equations. So as it is written in the definition, an equation which involves a variable with the highest power 1 means any equation in which the highest power of the variable is 1, that equation is known as linear equation. And here are some examples of linear equations. First one is 5x plus 7y is equals to 8. Second one is this. Third one 3a plus 14b minus 2c equals to 0. Here you can see in all of these equations the highest power of the variables are 1. That means there is no any variable in which the power is 2. That's why these are linear equations, because in all of these equations highest power of the variables are 1. So this is the important identification of linear equations, that in such equations the highest power of variable is 1 always, as in all these equations. And the next point that we must know about equation is the parts of equation. We can see any equation is divided into two parts, and both of those parts are separated by this equals to symbols, and the part which is in the left hand side of this equals to symbol is called LHS, means left hand side, and the part which is in the right hand side of this equals to symbol is called RHS, means right hand side. And our next point is linear equation of one variable, as it is clear with the point that linear equation in one variable implies that the equations in which only one variable is there. Here are some examples. 5x minus 4 equals to 0, 2x plus 1 equals to 0, 8x plus 9 is equals to 2. We can see in all of these three equations only one variable is there. That means whatever the variable is, that can be x, y or z, but only one variable will be there in one equation. That equation is called as linear equation of one variable. And next we must know that how can we solve such linear equations. So there are two methods of solving these linear equations. One is trial and error method, and second one is balancing method. First, let us talk about first method of solving linear equation, that is trial and error method. So this is our first method of solving linear equation. So we will discuss it with the help of an example. Let us take the example 5p plus 2 is equals to 17, and we have to solve this linear equation with the help of trial and error method. Basically, solving an linear equation implies finding the value of unknown quantity, that means finding the value of variable. Here variable is p, and we have to find the value of this variable p here. And in trial and error method, we start from 0 and we put all the values in the equation. So first of all we will put p is equals to 0. We will start from 0. So whenever we are putting p equals to 0, that means in place of p we are putting the value 0, then 5 into 0 is 0 plus 2 is equals to 17. That means 2 is equals to 17, which is not true. We know 2 can never be equals to 17. That means this is not true, and p equals to 0 is not a solution for this equation. Similarly, next we will put p is equals to 1, and we will check either p is equals to 1 is satisfied in this equation or not. And we can see after solving we are getting 7 is equals to 17, which is not true. That means p is equals to 1 is also not a solution for this equation. Similarly, next after 1 we will put p equals to 2. And we can see here we are getting 12 is equals to 17, which is again not true. Again we will put after 2 P is equals to 3, and finally we are getting 17 is equals to 17, which is absolutely true. That means P is equals to 3 is the solution for this linear equation. 5P plus 2 is equals to 17. So this is the trial and error method for solving any linear equation. The next method that we have to talk about is balancing method. So let us start balancing method. Here is a little point that we must know before discussing balancing method, and that is if the same number is added, subtracted, multiplied, divided to both the sides of an equation, the equation holds true. That means if we are adding, subtracting, multiplying or dividing the same number on both the sides of the equations, that means to left hand side and right hand side, then the equation holds true. That means our equation remains unchanged whenever we are adding, subtracting, multiplying or dividing the same number on both the sides of the equation. Okay, so now let us talk about balancing method with the help of an example. So our first example is 8a minus 5 is equals to 11. We have to solve this equation by balancing method. That means we have to find the value of a. So as we have just discussed that we can add, subtract, multiply and divide the same number on both the sides of the equation. So here it is minus 5 and we have to cancel this minus 5. So we are adding 5 on both the sides, and minus 5 plus 5 will give us 0. So in the left hand side we are getting 8a only, and 8a will be equals to 11 plus 5, 16. But we are supposed to find the value of a. So in the left hand side only a must be there. So for cancelling out 8 we must divide it by 8. So we can divide 8 on both the sides of this equation. So 8a divided by 8 will give us a, and 16 divided by 8 will give us 2. That means the value of a is equals to 2. That means our linear equation 8a minus 5 is equals to 11 has the solution a is equals to 2. This is the balancing method in which we add, subtract, divide and multiply the same number on both the sides of an equation. Let us talk about one more example for better understanding. 10 plus 6y is equals to 34. So first of all we have to cancel out this 10. So we can subtract 10 from both the sides, and we are getting now 6y is equals to 24. Now this 6 must also be cancelled. So we will divide 6 from both the sides. So 6y divided by 6 will give us y, and 24 divided by 6 will give us 4. So this was balancing method to solve our linear equation, and we have just discussed about two methods of solving any linear equation. And you all are supposed to go through this video thoroughly and note down all of these points in your notebook, and we will discuss rest of the queries in the class. Thanks.